Hi, Amy. Yep. There you go. Good? Awesome. Thank you. All right, well, we are going to start just a couple minutes early. I know several of you have contacted me that you won't be able to attend, but you will be listening. We are recording this, so you'll be able to listen to it and answer questions or ask questions or contact me afterwards. So we'll just go with that. I know I appreciate you guys having some patience with me. Zoom and I struggled a little yesterday. So we're just having a redo today, a little mulligan here. So let's just start with some of the agenda items I want to be sure to go over. I do have a couple of questions though I see already coming up. Number one, I want to only look at ungraded attempts. That is something, let me just call you over the phone, Laura, and walk you through that. But when you go into that, you'll see it at the top, and then you have to click the search button. So I tried to click on attempts and then ungraded attempts, but then click search. Well, let me open it up on my computer. If you can open another screen on yours, I can show you how to do that real fast. Do you want to do that, or do you guys want to talk to me, call me on that later? Okay, yeah, just call me on that after this. I can walk you through that. You'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot that's how you do that. You'll get that. I'll do it now. Okay. So I'm into a class right now. I'm just going to walk you through it. I'm not going to pull it up on my screen, but let's say I go into a quiz and I go to grade that quiz. At the top, you're going to see restrict to, and you're going to hit users who have completed an attempt, and then you're going to click the search item, and then when you hit that search item, it should just bring up those particular ones. But let me just call you on that because we'll just do the one that you need and I'll show you how to do that. And there might even be some tutorials out there too that I can show you to take you to it. The few things that I wanted to go over was one, all of you guys need to be joining Slack. I don't think we have everyone on there, so make sure that you join Slack. Make sure that you're logging into that daily. Even if you're not adding anything to it, that's okay, but it just kind of keeps you up with what everyone is doing. And then make sure you have scheduled that meeting with Dan. You have a meeting that you need to have your first call with Dan. I think he set out a schedule for booking an appointment with him. If you haven't done that, you need to do that today. Students will continue to be added to your course this week, so make sure you're double checking if any students have been added and contacting them using your first call checklist. You should have everyone called by tomorrow and then sending out that follow-up email with some of those same details from the first call checklist. And definitely mentioning the pacing guide, definitely mentioning June 18th being the deadline for the 20%. In mentioning that the final exams are the week of July 16th and that they've got to be around for that. And if not, you're going to be figuring out how they're going to be figuring out when they're going to be taking that. Typically, we don't take the final exam prior to July 1st. And because July 1st, especially in PE1, the concluding fitness test is available then, and then they'll be able to use that information after for the final exam question, the one question about their SMART goals. Now, if it has to be, if they're going out of the country or they have a very unique situation and they need to take it before July 1st, and they want to take it June 25th or something late in June, give me a call, talk to Rhonda, or figure something out with that. But the registration for the final exam opens June 22nd, which I think Dan said was a Friday. So really they can start doing that, making those reservations on Monday. Make sure that you are using the badges. Make sure that you are putting in your own news item. Awesome, Dan. Thank you for doing that. And yes, I think that might be all those few items there. And yeah, Jim, you're accidentally sharing your screen. I have audio. Okay, good. So Laura and I think it was Lisa, Dan printed out those instructions, so hopefully that works. If you have any other questions, you could just call me, or if you have any other questions, anyone else, you can go ahead and throw those out there now. Any questions about the final exam, any questions about phone calls? Somebody said something earlier about struggle, oh good, a struggle to get a hold of parents. I'm also having issues with replying to students and parents. The majority of emails are undeliverable. Okay.
When I email parents, they'll reply to that message, and I try to reply back. It will say undeliverable about 80 to 90% of the time.
Well, what you're going to have to do is call and get like I've had to call and get the right phone numbers. You just have to end up communicating with them via phone to find that right email. Then you can add it into their profile, put the right email in, and then it will go right to D2L, and then you can start emailing to the correct email. Does that make sense?
But I've already sent them a message. They're replying back to the email, and it's not, when I try to reply back to theirs, it's not sending.
Oh.
So they got my first email.
Can you
and then you reply back and it bounces back?
Yeah, 80% of the times with parents, it's saying undeliverable, and then I have to go into D2L, copy their email address, and then click reply and apologize that they don't have their first message in there.
Can you?
I don't know. Dan, do you have any answers for that?
I need to see. Can you send me an example? Just forward it to me of the trail of what's going on.
Grades typically are upgraded every 24 hours, Scott, but because we have such, I think it was 22,000 students, I'm guessing there's probably a lag. Dan might be able to be more specific on that.
Yeah, it's just the first week. So we still have active or schools enrolling. So in some fairly large schools enrolling. So you're probably going to see more kids added to your course. And because of that, there's some delay. The syncing hopefully will go, right now it's probably once a day, but as we get further along in the week, it'll start syncing normally. So, which is still about every couple of hours.
Awesome. Okay. Greg, yeah, I think texting works too. A lot of times I call and then they don't have voicemail set up because they don't use voicemail anymore, these kids. So then I end up sending them a text and then I do get a good response there. Just try to initially get that human contact there to that phone call. And if there's voicemails, leave a voicemail. Sometimes I leave a voicemail and send a text message. They definitely do respond well to text messages. So. Yes, yeah, I think everybody's kind of likes to text now. We just want to make sure that they know we're a human person and we're not just a robot call. But I totally get that. Oh, that's a great idea. So leave a voicemail, tell them to confirm with a text. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd have to look in your email whether if I got put into another group or Dan, do you know a quick answer to that one? I'm not sure why it's happening. It might be a setting. It might be a group that you have it in. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'd have to go ahead, Dan.
There's possibly, you might have clutter on, and that tries to keep the clutter out of your email box. I'll try to get that to you. It should, if I send you a message, it should come to you. So clutter is on. Yeah, if clutter is on, it will hide your mail.
It will put it right to clutter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can send you
So,
turn off.
no? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. I'll look into that.
I put it off so that everything stays in my inbox. Some people like it on because it gets rid of the spam. I think that's why. I would turn it on. Well, as you guys are sending in more questions, one thing that I wanted to address, if you haven't seen it from your students already, or you've contacted me about it, which is awesome, is that in the Nutrition 1 information guide, there was an error with under the protein and the fat, and Dan is working on that. It's unfortunately he has to fix that in every one of our courses, so it's going to take a little while, but he is going to get to that. What type of notes do you put in student notes? Really what you're putting in there is those individual phone calls and things that you do with those students. I typically do a contact on all of them for that first week. I don't put in that I'm putting in emails, but I put in the phone calls, text, voicemails that I put in. And then when you start to see things like they have a vacation, or they need to take the exam early, or they have something unique going on, you want to put those in there. You want to be contacting your students, once a week, just logging that communication in there. It really is there for the administration to help you. So especially if you're having students that you're struggling getting a hold of, you want to continue to document that, especially so that if you were to have administration try and ask you when were your last contacts because their parents calling, they have that information there. Well, guys, I am going to end this meeting, but if you walk out of here and have more questions, please shoot me a text, give me a call. I'm happy to answer that. And good luck this week. Get all those phone calls in. June 18th is that 20% deadline. Make sure everybody's aware of that. And have a great day.